Welcome back to the Vainglory International Premier League here on OGN. We have to look at GankStars in this game because they would love to get this last win, seal up the undefeated group stage, take an easy trip to the semifinals without any complications, and that should be their goal, and it looks like a very achievable one against VAP.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. VAP, another one of these teams that is down 0-2. They did go down to both Beyond and Tiger Phobia, and they weren't the closest games either. I feel like I was giving even Victorious in the last match a bit of a better chance in that first game compared to VAP in this one.
Yeah, there's definitely probably a pretty big advantage coming in here for GankStars, but let's take a look at VAP first on this side of the arena. And interestingly, this is another team that we saw some role swaps on in that last game. And here we have GankStars, of course, Iraqi Zoro, that ace laner, Koldemeek, and Gabe Vizzle as well, looking like a very potent trio here after their third place finish at the Worldwide Invitational.
I love the face of disgust that Gabe Vizzle puts on in that introduction. It's so fantastic.
It is. He just looks like he's totally sick of watching the other team play.
He's like, you played that hero? What? Get out of my game. Definitely that standby roam position player for this team. Maybe he's not the guy that's always in that spotlight and gets a lot of the fame or whatever, or a lot of the cameras, but he's definitely a fantastic player in that position.
Let's take a look at VAP first, and again, they did switch up their positions a little bit in that last game, having Chivalry, their normal roam player, play a lane Vox. And you know what, Valdez? That really didn't work. He got killed solo extremely early on in a 1v1. I don't really know what to say about that. Lily here on the end, Catherine and Arden has stuck to that jungle position more or less.
We'll see what he'll be able to do if he can somehow pull his team to a victory this time around. But now taking a look at Chivalry, that jungle position.
Of course, and
he's praying.
He is. Well, coming into this game too, in the first game that VAP played against Beyond, we had Kill B go 1-4-1 on Vox. In the second game Chivalry played against Tiger Phobia, we had he went 0-4-2 on the Vox. They don't seem to have an answer for who is going to be successful in the lane. And that is a massive problem because Iraqi Zoro is one of, if not the best laner in this tournament.
Yeah. This is probably their worst nightmare. I think they were hoping to possibly get 2 wins first and then go up against GankStars and have a better chance, be in a better place at least. But as we said before, at 0-2 so far, not looking too good.
And on the other side of the arena, we do have GankStars looking to take it all on their second trip to Korea. And this team hasn't dropped a game yet, looking strong, but they've had to play the same team composition. I shouldn't have said had to play. They have chosen to play the same team composition of Ringo, Koshka, and Adagio so far in this tournament, both games, but they're not going to have that option tonight. They themselves have banned Adagio. VAP has banned Ringo. But you know what this means, Valdez.
I know what that means, Monte Cristo. We will be seeing Glaive tonight. I am 99.99% sure. And it's very hard when you're going up against GankStars. There's so many things to ban out. You ban out the Ringo. You ban out the Glaive. Who are you going to pick? Are you going to ban out Iraqi or are you going to ban out Cull? It's 2 fantastic players for their positions.
Yeah, and this Glaive on Koldemeek, it's his signature pick. And we're going to take a look at his Koshka.
The Vanguard.
He is the Vanguard, going in first on that Koshka, playing that very aggressive juggling style, and Koldemeek coming on through. You can see the pounce there, coming in for the kill, diving underneath the twirling for the kill, and just trying to kite this one out right here, and waiting right now. He's going to interrupt this with his ultimate.
Ice it.
He did ice it.
I love it.
Forgotten War was iced by the Koshka ultimate, setting up that stun to interrupt the Dragon's Breath channel. Very nicely done, and give you a thumbs up for some nice Koshka play, but Glaive has been banned in both the games so far. It's been warranted.
Yeah. I feel like Cull is just, we always say Iraqi, that key player, he's a fantastic laner, one of the best we have, but Cull in the jungle, you take out his Glaive, he'll play that Koshka in that way. If you're not going to reflex block that ultimate stun, you're pretty much screwed in the team fight. He will be on you. He will ice you.
Well, he's going to have even more chances to ice the opposition today, although he'll do it with this time with fire with the afterburn if he does decide to show that Glaive. And, I wonder, with the Glaive not banned this game and seemingly on paper an easy matchup for GankStars, do they even play the Glaive today? Do they show it? Do they remind people how dangerous they are on this hero?
That's true. Maybe they'll kind of let down the guard of the other better teams a little bit later on in this tournament if they just let it stand by.
Yeah. I think that may indeed be quite a good strategy, but also that one win just to secure themselves a top 4 finish at the bare minimum is going to be very attractive. So see which route they decide to take here. GankStars looking over their choices right now, and who is going to play lane for VAP is going to be the question. They have yet to have that successful laner performance in either of their games. Koshka locked in for Lily.
Maybe they'll switch it up this time around.
All right.
Vox going to come down once again on Chivalry. Hope he can have a better shot this time.
Maybe feeling more comfortable just because the Ringo that killed him last time, that very early game bursty damage taken out. So he will have perhaps a better chance to scale, and we'll see where Rocky Zoro goes without that Ringo on the board. Certainly could be a Celeste pickup.
Be an interesting one. I wonder what they feel like VAP is going to be picking. Of course, this is blind. Maybe they're saying, usually they don't like to pick up a lot of stuns. Sometimes they pick up Catherine, but not always. And then Vox, Adagio, they don't have much stun to lock down that Celeste and get on top of her. But not going to be Hubbard, and it will be a Vox.
And Arden and Glaive. So some early game punch right here. We're going to get in the game right away.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun.
Welcome to the Halcyon Fold. It will be VAP versus GankStars. Each team going into their last match here in Group B, and Vissel going for the Arden this time. Just to power up Cole the Meek, provide him with some shield so he can go deep early on. Rocky Zoro coming in, actually being donated some of those jungle creeps early on. Very interesting.
And Glaive actually going to go into the lane. And is he just going to play the lane straight up from here, or are they going to switch back again?
I don't know what their plan is, Valdez. This is very different to what we've generally seen. He does have a Book of Eulogy, so that probably means he is playing the lane. And Rocky Zoro getting close, has to Sonic zoom out. Vissel just there on the outside. Chivalry coming down right now. They may be in some trouble. Using that Vanguard to get the speed onto a Rocky Zoro. They're going into the brush. Vissel falling quite low. Using that healing pod, trying to live through this one. Sonic zooming. There's the stun coming in from Catherine. Lily very low. And there are 2 kills already for Chivalry.
Whoa.
No movement out of the lane for Cole the Meek. He's just been pushing as hard as he can.
I wonder what the idea behind that was. Maybe they were saying in the comms, like, it's okay, don't come down, we can get away, we can win this fight. He's very low, we're going to take one and then take another, but definitely losing that fight there. If Kuldamik had come down, they could have easily won that one, I think.
Yeah, Seti just stayed up there, and it looked like the kiting was going quite well. They were avoiding that Catherine stun up until the very end, where Rocky Zoro just trying to kite, can't quite get it. And 2 kills over to the enemy Vox is going to be quite problematic this early on into the game.
One thing they did have going for them, GankStars that is that off of those kills, I suppose many of the VAP members were low. They weren't confident enough to stay and do a bunch of counter jungling, which is usually what we see from some of these top teams. They get a very slight lead very early on, and then they go for it.
Well, here's going to be a gank coming in. Afterburn already used. Chivalry in a load of trouble. They're trying to hand this one over to a Rocky Zoro. Sonic Zoom coming through, but that will be answered in kind by Iraqi Zoro, so they will pick up a kill. And in spite of all of this, GankStars has actually come out with a gold lead thanks to some better farming.
Already seeing Glaive call the Meek up to 16. But we do see the Vox, actually, the Chivalry from the lane getting 17 creeps or minions so far.
The big difference right there is in the fact that Lily doesn't really have that much jungle farm yet. Had to go back pretty early on after nearly being killed. And now the Book of Eulogies, for those of you who don't know, that Koldamik has taken does give him some health back whenever he kills a minion in that lane. So it's a nice item to have if you're a melee laner. Going to be taking more trade damage than usual.
Here comes the invade. I guess they saw some weakness here. Catherine going back. They're going to pick up a bunch of these minions on the back side of VAP's jungle.
Yeah, they will. Just playing as aggressively as they can. They do have that level advantage. And now Chivalry going to get caught out with a scout trap as GankStars retreat, going to use that blood for blood for a dash, and VAP decides time to go in, stun onto the Arden. That is not who you want to stun, and Koldamik is just going to come in and slaughter them. Iraqi Zoro gets the triple kill and the ace. Wow,
Whoa.
you can't stun the Arden. That
No.
doesn't work.
No, that's generally not what you want to do. And the Arden at this point, he hasn't even gone for that, any O cards just yet. He's just gone for the sprint boots so far, but he's still not the guy you want to jump on. I guess just a bit of miscommunication there from VAP, and when you open up that much space for both the Vox and the Glaive to get onto you like that, it's going to be not a great fight for your team.
Yeah, especially with how much chasing potential GankStars has. I mean, they have a lot of gap closers here. Every hero in their composition has some sort of dash.
Yeah. No lockdowns, no real stuns. They're really just relying on the afterburn, but as you said, they have a lot of mobility to make up for that. I am liking the composition so far.
Koldamik going for perhaps that Fountain of Renewal first this game. We'll see what he ends up building into.
We saw him rush out right after that book, just straight into a kinetic shield and then an O-card pickup, so looking to get very tanky first and foremost, and then we'll eventually build some damage items.
Going to take the gold miner right now, minute after spawn. Chivalry has to Sonic Zoom away. He doesn't have a lot of energy left to contest this, so he will have to let it go, and GankStars goes up by about 2,000.
Yep. No vision there, the gold mine. They're just going to give it up. Chivalry pokes his head and he's like, well, we're too out of position for this. We can't contest it. That's why you always have to have vision around that gold mine. But I think most of that just comes from the aggressive invades so far from GankStars, opening up that, clearing out all the scout traps, and then eventually going for it.
Chivalry still holding his own in this laning phase, but Koldamik has not been very harassed, it has to be said. With all the sustain he has, Koldamik going to try and get away right now, and that's just going to pop him right back to the turret. Very difficult to gank a Glaive in the lane.
It's pretty much never going to happen, and as long as you can pick up a book, which you can always do at the start of the game, you are going to have enough sustain in the lane. Maybe against a Ringo, someone who's very harassed, he has a lot of early game damage, you would have some trouble, but against a Vox, it's not going to be nearly as hard.
It's not. Well, another invade coming in. Gabe Bissell going to find Lily in the brush. Chivalry just rushes over immediately. Now they get a silence off onto Rocky Zora, but that's not really going to stop him. He's trying to kite through the brush. See the vision right now, and he is going to get another double. That'll be finished off. Iraqi Zoro just playing with vision and getting right into the middle of the enemy team. Holy cow.
They just so confidently go for a 2-on-3 while the Glaive from Koldamik just sits in the lane, does not move at all.
I mean, the Arden with the Vanguard, he gets that shield down onto Iraqi Zoro, and Iraqi just feels very comfortable. He gets the resonance down, so all those auto attacks are going to be bouncing, and as long as VAP is grouped up like that, they're going to take a huge amount of AoE damage.
Yeah. We were hyping up the Glaive pick for Koldamik because we hadn't heard it, we hadn't seen it. It was his signature pick, all that, but he's been relatively passive while Iraqi and Gabe just clean up shop time after time.
That's right. A walk back right now. Does have to use his sprint boots to safely get back to the turret. Afterburn was on cooldown.
Do you see that Fountain of Renewal as the pickup for Koldamik? Going to just be a bit more of a supporting kind of ganky type of glaive here in the early and mid game. Allow Iraqi Zoro to get some, some space and do his own damage.
Well, this is going to be so interesting, too, because we haven't really talked about it yet, but there is synergy between Arden and Glaive, because when Arden throws down the gauntlet, you can just afterburn somebody right into a stun.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to, right into the wall of that gauntlet, and that is a very long stun. Iraqi Zoro going forward. He's just going to kite this one out. He will fall. Gabe Bizzle trying to get out of here right now. Scout Trap goes off, doesn't hit Gabe, and now he's coming down. Gauntlet will be activated. Goodbye. Afterburn, and then a stun coming in right afterwards on that auto attack. So,
yeah.
2 for 1 in favor of GankStars, and they're going to get some more jungle while they're at it.
There was a point in that fight where I was like, oh, Iraqi's going way too far forward. He's being way too cocky here, but they're just so far ahead at this point that I guess they can't afford to be that confident and just go for the kills here, go for the massive pressure. When you're pressuring at the second turret in the lane, there's pretty much no way you're going to be even close to that gold mine or have any opportunity to take it back.
Well, and Koshka just has no items. 12, now 13 farm in this game. Compare that to Iraqi Zoro, who is effectively the jungler in this one at 58. 58.
That's like so unbelievable to me. I'm glad you point that out. It just really is the main part of what's going on here.
And Gabe Bizzle actually is going to walk straight out of that Koshka ultimate. He doesn't care. He's a level up. And here we go. Iraqi Zoro going to go down again, and Kuldamik with the fancy afterburn kill. And they're just going to move straight onto the turret using that Vanguard to provide a barrier and just slowly push this turret down.
They got to be careful. Looks like they will be able to get
Do they have to be careful, Valdez?
Kuldamik was scaring me there for a bit, but the Fountain of Renewal will keep him up.
Sorrow Blade now done for Kuldamik, so he has that huge amount of weapon power. Up on the Glaive. And now they're just going to back off, and they've decided that 9 minutes and 45 seconds is the perfect time to take a minion mine and keep pressing their edge.
Yeah, sometimes you wouldn't want to go for that, especially if you're going for against someone like Celeste, someone like Scarf. Even the Vox is sometimes a bit risky. They can farm up those lanes over and over and really get a bit scary as it goes later, but I guess they're just confident enough here, and they have their own really, really farmed Vox, so at this point I guess it doesn't really matter.
What does VAP do? Because the Gauntlet is so good with both Vox and Glaive, because basically Glaive will stand in the middle and you can get a lot of those cleave crits off, or Vox is going to get a huge amount of AoE, and your other choice is just walk into a stun. Here we go, we're going to see it in action right now. Chivalry actually going to reflex block the stun, but it's just not going to be enough. The guy coming through from GankStars, just forcing everyone out of that situation, and here comes some more turret damage.
The second I saw that Crystal Infusion be popped by Iraqi, I'm like, oh, they're going for the dive. They're just going for it here, and it's just a huge cleanup at this point. They are once again very far ahead. 2 very one-sided games so far today.
Yeah, well, they just haven't given anyone except for Chivalry a chance to farm right here, and Chivalry hasn't been able to convert that into much, except for that very early skirmish that VAP managed to win. Take a look at that one again, and I mean, what do you do right here? Chivalry has to reflex block the stun, and Iraqi Zoro just walks right on through. They turn their focus onto Kill B afterwards.
Yeah, Iraqi essentially zoned out the Vox from Chivalry out of that fight where Glaive and Arden handling the other two with ease. And it was just straight cleanup there from Iraqi. Very clean team fights so far from GankStars. Really impressive. This is part of the reason why you can watch these guys play even once, and you just know they're one of the favorite teams.
Here we go. Kuldamik coming in, has his breaking point now. That is going to be huge amounts of damage, and will be killed right there. They actually trade 1 for 1, but they're going to keep on pressing this forward. Blood for blood takes the kill. Kuldamik now going to chase Kill B around a little bit, but Kill B, you are not going to live through this. Eventually, you will be hunted. Vanguard with the speed boost onto Kuldamik. And now, is this going to be the end of the game with the ace? More than likely.
We'll see. Chivalry's going to try to make it interesting here. to spawn and push them away.
Yeah, very early in the game. I failed to realize it was only 12 minutes into this one with a level of domination. So yes, those spawn timers, not that high yet for VAP, so they will be able to recover.
I mean, even Gabe on that Arden at this point, able to afford a Crystal Infusion. He's gotten his two, core roaming items, the Crucible and the Fountain of Renewal, and from there, he's like, well, I got this extra money, I might as well be my own threat in this game.
Yeah, why not? Why not? His B, the Blood for Blood, does scale with the Crystal Power, so you can actually hit pretty hard if you have a blue build onto the Arden. Not generally recommended, but if you're in this position, why the hell not?
Yeah. I've had weapon power Ardens that auto-lock in jungle before in my solo games. Not very fun.
All right, Colby coming in again. He gets the Vanguard on him, and there's the Gauntlet going down. There is no escape here. That'll be an easy ace and another triple for Rocky Zoro. Just gets right in the middle with that box yet again. And that's going to be the end of this game at 13.5 minutes. GankStars very convincingly making their way to the semifinals.
They just like skipped down the yellow brick road. They made that look so easy. I really have to say Arden is the perfect roaming hero for finishing off a game if you're early, because you could just get on top of the entire team and force a team fight, and there's no way they're getting away, even with a reflex block.
Yeah, because if they use their reflex block there, they're not going to have anything else against the other CC coming their way, so it's easy to target some of those runners in that situation. Handshakes in the arena right now, and VAP will go out 0-3. Perhaps we will see them next season.
See what they will be able to do if we even do see them next season. I wouldn't say they were necessarily, terrible. It wasn't like terrible play in this game here from VAP. It was mainly just fantastic, almost flawless play out of GankStars.
I was so surprised to see how quickly they bounced back after that very disastrous level 1, level 2 fight. But their ability just to turn the game around and control the enemy jungle, making sure they just absolutely choked out VAP when it came to farming their own jungle.
Well, we're going to take a look here at the man of the match, and it is going to be Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe played very well on this Arden. He provided a lot of the crucial speed boosts to help take out those picks, and he set up those late game team fights, and he was the one who really caused the game to end that quickly.
Yeah. Also, just the composition of Arden and even the Vox in that lane. They have so much speed, so much mobility, as you were saying. You can trade so well and invade in that jungle quite nicely as well.
Yeah. I really like this team composition, and this is the first time we've seen something new from GankStars. Just choosing to run the same heroes in their first 2 games, but this time completely changing it up.
I'm really, I'm kind of unimpressed so far with the Catherines so far tonight. We'll see if some of the better teams will be able to make more work with that Catherine a little bit later on.
Yes, we will. And we're going into an interview right now with Gabe Vizzle. It will be in English, fortunately enough for you, so let's take a listen.
처음으로 MVP를 받으셨는데 소감이 어떤지 좀 여쭤보고 싶거든요.
As a GankStars member, you were the first one to ever got a man of the match as a roamer. How do you feel about that?
It feels pretty good. Man of the match doesn't really matter to any of us. It's just a huge accomplishment that we won the game initially, but it's always a good addition.
Man of the match를 누가 받는지는 저한테는 그렇게 중요하지는 않던데 로머라는 포지션으로 처음 받게 돼서 영광이긴 하다고 말씀하십니다.
네, 이 갱스타즈가 전승을 기록을 하면서 12팀 중에 가장 먼저 4강 진출을 확정을 지었는데요. 그렇게 될 줄 좀 예상을 하셨는지 궁금하거든요.
Out of all the teams in the league, you guys are the first to be set in place for the semifinals. Did you guys expect it going into the league?
We don't really expect anything coming into the league. We set out to do our best, and it's a huge accomplishment that we made it to the semifinals. And I'm really proud of my team, and I'm sure we are too.
아무런 예상도 하지 않고 리그에 출전을 했는데 저희
네.
최선을 다할 뿐이었고 최선을 다했는데 이렇게 우승하게 돼서 기쁘게 됐다고 말씀하십니다.
네. 또 오늘 보니까 정말 이 평소 그 포지션 매치가 아니라 약간 다른 모습을 보여줬어요. 정글과 레인이 바뀐 상태였는데 준비된 전략이었는지 어떻게 해서 그런 포지션이 나온 건지 좀 궁금해요.
You decided to use Cole as a laner instead of a jungler. Was this a strategy coming into the game or was it spontaneous?
No, we were preparing for our matchup, and it was the best option that we came up with for our strategy. So that's what we did.
매첩이 된 이후에부터 되게 예상을 하던 픽이었고
네.
전략적인 픽이었고 잘 돼서 이제 기분이 좋다고 말씀하십니다.
네. 마지막으로 그러면 4강에 임하는 각오 한 말씀 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
Anything you want to say going into the semifinals?
We're just gonna keep practicing, do our best. We want to make NA proud, and that's what we're gonna try to do for you guys.
최선을 다하고 NA를 대표해서 북미 지역을 대표해서 저희가
네.
우승을 하시겠다고 말씀하십니다.
네, 4강전에서도 좋은 모습을 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 지금까지 좋은 날이었습니다. C조 경기 후에 다시 돌아오도록 하겠습니다.
네, 다시 한번 오늘 좋은 모습 보여드릴게요.
Thanks to the interview with Gabe Vizzle right there, earning his first Man of the Match award here in the Premier League. And we will see more of GankStars in the semifinals. Up next, the Chinese team Hunters looks to take on Korea's Raid as the Hunters want to sew up their semifinal place just like GankStars. We will see you guys in